Uh, so I am live now. Welcome back,
I don't like
everybody.
the.
You don't like what?
I'm changing the color of my thing.
That's fair. But welcome back, everybody, to another game of Monster Hunter D&D. Where we left off last time, you all got arrested because Harbin told the guild about what you guys were doing, and Elliot agreed to all of it.
That darn Harbin.
And then, while in prison, you met a little dragon person, and your guard seemed to let you guys out, and you guys escaped after killing all of the guards.
They deserved it.
Hey, don't involve me with this. I didn't kill any of the guards. I only shot in self-defense.
That's not what the guild thinks.
I chewed in self-defense.
Like,
I ate in self-defense.
but as you guys were escaping, you saw the monster you originally fought, the Alpha Drome. There were several of them in the village, wreaking havoc as you guys escaped through a teleportation circle set up out in the woods. And when you guys escaped, you were told, "Welcome to the Helix Commission," and that's where we ended.
How secretive is the Helix Commission?
I don't think you ever heard the name outside of. I think it's secretive enough and it's kept under wrap enough from the guild itself. I don't think you would know what it is.
Alright.
But where you enter, where you teleport in, you see you're in the center of a room. It's a circular room with obsidian walls that have pulsating runes that weave an intricate dance of ethereal energies. You're near you're at inner circle that at the center of which is like an obelisk, a monolith. A crystalline structure that has different hues that mimic the ever-changing landscapes of different areas outside this place. Different platforms surround this monolith, and it looks like this is how most people enter or leave this location. I shared this whole thing with you, Luca, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, you guys are in this room. There's probably some scribes off to the side. The guy who teleported you here, he's like, well, welcome in. This is where us scouts will normally show up after we why do you keep popping up there? I wanted to check my audios and I don't know why you pop up there. I'm just gonna deep you up and not downsize you. Yeah, so this is where scouts are come back after a journey. I didn't mean to spring all this on you, but since you helped my friend, like my cohort here, like pointing to Luca's character, I felt like it was proper to bring you along. Couldn't leave you behind to face the guild after that. They're liable to have you arrested again, or worse.
Definitely worse.
Or worse.
Execution.
I mean, you guys did kill some people there.
After what they've done, they deserve it.
Yeah.
I'm sure some would agree with you. Me, I'm not too much against the guild. I just think they're not the proper way. But irregardless, I guess we should go and introduce you to at least a handler, get you guys situated here. Go ahead, follow me, and he leads you out of the room.
I follow.
Yeah. It follows.
I think one thing you guys noticed, though, you do see, as you leave, you see that there's a big like you see there's windows off to the side, and you guys seem to be heading to like up like not so much a stair but an incline towards it looks like almost a viewing area above this big wide open expanse, and as you look outside you see what looks to be, it looks like you're underground, but there's like an artificial sun above what looks to be a biodome that has several different locations in it. Like you see several different biomes, like the desert area, a molten area, all looking like very much Guiding Lands vibe.
Oh, this is cool.
Yes, we found this location, and this is still the same guy. We found this location probably about a decade or two ago. Our leaders, it was an old ancient civilization base that was in disrepair. We fixed it up. One of our lead caregiver is a cleric of significant power. She got the artificial sun working again, and since then we've been able to have different hybrid monsters and regular monsters living in peace down below in the biodome. The biodome is specifically, let me see if I... Yeah, the biodome is specifically... Just, like I said, it has several areas out there, and you see vaguely, you probably see some monsters that you've heard about, like maybe there's a Rathalos flying around down there. There might be a Kuya just around the more deserty area with an egg in its mouth. It's hard to see because it's such a big area, and it's weird because it looks like it's outside, but it's completely underground.
At this point, I feel like Elliot's not even paying attention. He's like being a kid at a candy store right now. His head pressed up against the glass, like, oh.
How big is that dome?
The dome you said? It's probably miles.
Damn.
Like, it is very much one of those fantasy things where you're like, this couldn't physically exist. It's definitely reinforced with magic, and you see, like, it's full on, like, it's... The total area for you guys who have played World is probably bigger than the... as big or bigger than the Guiding Lands. Like, it has an equal amount of biomes and diversity.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
Yeah. I'd imagine Arturo is probably not even paying too much of close attention to what this guy's saying. He's just kind of blankly staring out the window with his arms crossed. He looks a bit kind of on guard still.
Yeah. As they lead you through, they are leading you up to what looks to be a central hub of sorts. You enter a room. It's a sprawling chamber with different luminescent crystals that hang from the ceiling. They're casting a nice gentle radiance across the space. At the heart of the room looks to be a beautifully crafted ebony desk with traces of traces and veins of a topaz type coloring flowing through it. And behind the desk, working with different like displays that are like magically floating in front of her, is a topaz dragonborn. Oh, I see you're back. You brought some new people. How do you guys do? I'm Ambering Aurelia. I keep making these names, but I'm not ever gonna pronounce them beforehand.
Aurelia?
Yeah, Aurelia.
Okay.
I'm the person that You obviously know them, Luca. They're
Yeah.
the handler stand-in. Like they're the one that sends you on your quest, make sure you're okay, that kind of thing.
I'm just like going with them, like just going like I forgot the word, like shaking my head at people, like oh, hey, hello.
Yeah, no, being friendly. Like yeah, no, I'm back. I've been gone a couple weeks. It was a inside job, you know.
Showing off the crib.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And accompany the new guys.
That's another thing you guys notice in the hallways and stuff. It's a very clean aesthetic. Like it's probably a mix of stone, wood, and metal, but it's a very clean feel to the hallways. But you guys look around. You see on the side different tapestries. Some of them more ancient than others, and all of them are about some kind of hybrid. Some of them look old enough to be ancient civilization.
Ooh.
Magically repaired and such. And along walls there seems to be like either mirrors or glass images of certain creatures moving across the biodome below. In fact, you see one being released into the biodome. The Embering is like, oh yes, that's the newest creation from the Helix. It just finished growing now, and you see what looks to be a big hulking obsidian monster with gauntlets on its hands that have a green slime, and covering its body is different spikes that end in red points.
Oh no.
Yes, it's one of our newer creations. It's a hybrid between a Brachydios and a Espinas.
They were pretty nice.
Oh.
It certainly looks formidable.
Oh yes,
That
it's
looks pretty tough.
oh yeah. We have to defend ourselves against the monsters that wish us harm. Not company notwithstanding, of course. As she looks at you, Nierva, and the guild itself. They never understood what we were here for.
Well, I certainly wish the guild harm. The
I-
Helix Commission remains to be seen. I was promised help with my revenge.
Well, we don't actively hunt down the guild, though most people see what we do as opposition of the guild. Only because they tell us not to do what we do, and they label us as fugitives or criminals. Even though that is not how we see ourselves. We want to better the world, whether or not it's the same way as the guild, and I'm sure even the Talent Society believe that they too are bettering the world. Nobody likes to see themselves as the villains, even the guild.
Arturo will probably raise an eyebrow at the mention of the Talon Society, but
Oh, don't worry, we don't work with them. We don't like pointless killing any more than the guild does.
Hey, you and ethics?
that is a ironic thing to hear after what happened in that town we were staying at.
That, I'm sure, my agents with you have had their reasons, but we couldn't let the guild put to death your new companion here, as she kind of gestures towards Nierva. From the insights we were able to gather, they were scared of what they can do and what their species can do, and they were planning on either researching and never letting them free, or getting rid of it in
I'll
general.
trace my finger on my neck, like, yeah, that's what you're planning.
Ugh.
Well, in a simple, I guess numbers game, you certainly took more lives than you gained from that procedure.
Which is unfortunate, and I personally don't like death. I wish we never had to fight with the guild. I wish we could work with the guild. But no matter what, there will be conflict, and as long as we do our jobs, there will be less than if we don't.
Unfortunate. That was nothing short of a massacre.
As a massacre.
Huh?
As I said, I'm sure my agents had their reason. But I personally agree with you that I wish death wasn't part of it. If we could have gotten... I'm sorry, do you have a name? As she looks towards you, Nerva. I am incredibly rude to not ask.
I am Nerva, and I was waiting for you to ask.
I apologize. If we didn't get
Certainly.
Nerva out, who knows what would have happened with them, and why death is an unfortunate thing that happened. Hopefully in the future, we can avoid that more so than we did this fine night.
So long as the guild takes more land than they need, conflict is inevitable.
Quite,
We were here first.
Yes, I understand that as well. It's always a balancing act. Like I said, do not wish to harm to the guild, though it... Maybe it's better if you talk to one of the higher ups. I can. In the meantime, you guys look like you guys have had a rough night. How about we give you some rooms and you can rest a bit?
That would be nice.
Yeah, that would be appreciated.
Joan, can you lead them to the spare quarters near yours? Talking to you, Luca.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. That's not a problem.
And
No, just start making my way.
yeah, and one of the things you guys notice is Joan makes her way to what looks to be an entrance to a metal box of sorts. It's actually they make their way to a tram system, which as you guys enter and like hit the button and it activates, you guys are along the edge of the biodome, just traveling around to
As
what
the
looks
tram, as
Yeah.
the tram starts to move, Nerva will dig her claws in, not expecting it.
what's like a cat. Just
Then brush it off as if it never happened.
you guys see that it go around the side of the biodome, seeing different angles of the biodome. You see an underwater portion. You might even see like a different, like maybe one of the more aquatic leviathans head pop out of water and look about before diving back under.
Does most of the creatures in this biodome, that at least that we can see from glancing past, do most of them seem like created ones, or like is there a good few that are
There's
actually
more.
just normal?
There's a few that are normal. Especially the less dangerous ones. They tend like, and I think the one that teleported you is still with you as he's heading to his quarters too. So you could ask him any questions, but I think from what you could see is there's more than a few ones that are out and about that aren't hybrids.
Okay,
How
and
close do they get to us?
They are not within like at least a mile of you. Like you're high up in the air.
Okay.
Right. So
How many is there a lot of creatures flying as well, or
yeah, there's a few, but they don't ever. The dome ends before it gets to you, so they're never next to you. Just keep making sure it that you guys are safe there. And as it settles into place, the doors open to what looks to be a corridor with different like doors with nameplates on them and such. Joan leads you down the hall, and you see one with her name up on the wall, and then there looks to be a couple more empty rooms nearby without nameplates, or at least without like names on the nameplates.
So are these to be our rooms? Our dens?
Yeah, I guess this is where you guys will be staying for now, as long as you guys don't think we are villains. You guys are gonna love it here, really.
I'm gonna have to ask some questions about this, but well, it sounds like at first about like still not going into major details. Sounds like you guys have the same goals as the guild, but differently aligned. You know, branch off.
Different ways.
Yeah, different ways.
There's never a right way to do things, but there's definitely like many other ways to do something.
Yeah, there's more than one way to cut a carrot or something like that.
Well, I'll give them that they certainly create life instead of destroying it.
I think the teleport guy, he's heading into his room. You guys see a nameplate, Xavier, on his door. He turns to you guys and says, "Well, that's originally when the Helix Commission was made, to create life, to help protect. In fact, there's more than a few subspecies of monsters out today that were created because of the Helix. But the guild never tells anybody."
Like what exactly?
Like, the Pink Rathian. That doesn't naturally occur, a bright pink carapace. Like,
I always
there's...
thought it was like a mutation.
Yeah, that was mutation.
Oh, yeah, no, that's what the guild tells people, but stuff like that happens because something escapes here when we're not done, and it survives better than we even expected.
And it's just become a part of nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we do is nature in and of itself. In fact, all the stuff we do has been around since the ancient civilization. This whole place, the creation of the hybrids, it's all been here long before we were.
LHL just dropped.
Yeah, we just kind of taken up the torch.
I don't think Nerva would know what the ancient civilization was, so she's just gonna stay silent.
And it's like, not like or Helix Commission's
What is
fire. Like,
is that
they know
your
what they're
new
doing.
character, Arturo?
Hmm?
Who posted that?
Wasn't me.
Is it mid that just rolled, or?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, that was me.
I didn't know what that was. I'm like, I don't know what that is.
I forgot I had the Beyond thing.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, I was so confused. You're fine. But yeah, no. Where were we at? Like, who were talking? Like,
Yeah, I was. It's like, it really sounds like Helix Commission is playing with fire, but they seem to know what they're doing. I'm still a little skeptic because this is. It seems so far-fetched, but seeing it now, it's like I'm heavily doubting myself. Something like this is even possible.
The guild has given me no reason to trust them for anything, so...
Having people run around and throw themselves at monsters isn't really a safe option, to be honest, if you think about it.
Those were my dad's words exactly.
It
As
seems
the
like
monster in
your
question,
dad.
I appreciate it when they don't.
I think your dad was a lot more wise than you gave him credit for.
No, yeah, the old man was a hunter, and he told me the stories of what he did and stuff. Yeah, it did sound a bit reckless, but still, it sounded enjoyable, to go out there and fight creatures of unimaginable power and see what they can do.
Oh, look at Nerva and kill creatures that are just roaming about.
Uh, I mean, at least the ones that cause trouble for us, causing the disturbances and stuff.
There you do have a point. I'm gonna be honest on that. There are some
Yeah.
creatures that are without reason and sick and doing the worst for
Not
a
to
lot of
mention,
people, but-
Joan, you also know that some monsters are not as intelligent as Neova. So there was no reasoning with some of them. It's something you would know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, imagine a creature capable of just wherever it goes, it leaves behind destruction. And if it's up near a settlement, then there is worry.
In fact, I would hazard a guess that Neova is the first monster you guys have ever actually talked to.
Yeah.
Whether you
Those
tried
are-
to talk or not before.
Those of us that are intelligent, are people, we tend to avoid you humanoids. You bring nothing but trouble. But at this point, it's too late, and I will get my revenge.
Yeah.
They killed my parents, and I do not know where my siblings went.
Especially coming from you as, like, an elder dragon that can talk. That's one thing
Most of us can.
you can.
Most of the
Yeah.
dragons. Why do you think
I
the guild separates them out?
As elder. Oh.
Elliot's gonna have a mental crisis right now.
Yes, absolutely. Like,
All those stories Elliot heard of heroics against Elder Dragon now has a new underlying tone.
yeah, it's like you flip the script and it's like they were fighting.
Many of us,
Okay.
from the stories I've been told, many of us were here first, taking our territories, living our lives. The guild comes in, takes the land, expands too far, and tries to push us out. Rightfully, we fight back, and they take exception to that.
What's funny, Mid, is you probably would have heard of Valstrax that was given a mountain in the old lands. And then hunters come and take that mountain back, killing the creature.
They cannot be trusted.
I mean, isn't that how kind of nature works in one way or another?
People are people. If two equal parties negotiate, they should hold to their bonds.
Yeah, absolutely.
They did not ask when they killed my parents. They just attacked.
Without, I mean, did your parents cause like a problem to them?
Not that I'm aware of. No more than we take what we need to eat. Nothing more.
It doesn't matter what they did. They were dragons. They had the right.
See, this one has the right mind.
Yeah,
I
don't
knew
know
I
what-
would like you guys.
Yeah, I don't know whether or not to agree with you on that, but I'm just gonna not answer that.
there's more dragons than not dragon in the party. There's only one thing, is that's to agree with them. You don't disagree with a dragon, you walk away.
Yeah, I do not disagree with a dragon here, or else it's just gonna smoke me.
What's ketchup?
Huh? What?
You know, the whole saying, you're tasty and go good with ketchup. Don't disagree with dragons. It's bad for your health.
Okay.
That wasn't in character.
Oh. God.
That might as well have been.
Yeah. it might-
As you guys open the doors to your standing rooms, they seem again, the wood is clean, sterile almost. They are mostly like of a wood wall and obsidian floor, with little veins of lights going through them, like giving a nice warm like feel to the room. And the beds are not like of straw or something. They're probably very nice beds, very cushioned, big enough. Probably all of them are of either a queen or king size, so even Nerva could lay on them comfortable enough. But there's enough room in the room that if you don't want the bed, you don't have to use it. In fact, I bet the bed is probably a pull down style bed.
Oh, those are fancy.
Needs more
Now
leaves,
this is better.
more greenery.
Man, I honestly, by the way, you guys, I did not plan from the first session to make you guys part of Helix or have you guys come here. It just kind of mentally happened.
That was my fault.
I mean,
Yeah.
you gave me the opportunity, but if I wanted to, I could have avoided it.
Yeah,
Just kind of happened.
he kind of has that naturey vibe from back at Terravera. Oh, Varen Haven. Yeah, it has that nature
Verdant
vibe.
Haven, yeah.
Yeah, Verdant Haven.
But you guys are able to sleep for the night. Unless you guys have something you want to do beforehand.
Well, I am bleeding out of my side, so I kind of want to rest, clean my wounds.
The moment Arturo gets the chance, he's probably just gonna kind of close himself off in the room.
All the doors have locks on them. So you
Yeah.
guys can close yourself in. They're pretty quiet inside. Like, if you guys yelled, you could probably hear each other. But short of that, you guys probably wouldn't interrupt each other.
Is there any furniture besides a bed in there?
There's probably a desk with a chair in each one. Probably not. It's probably sparsely furnished though, because nobody's occupying them. It's probably one of those you furnish it as you live there.
Did the doors open inward or outward?
All doors open outwards is a typical rule I like to follow. It's a fire hazard rule. That way you can kind
Oh.
of mentally. That way you're never trapped inside a room. It's a real life building rule that you should do, that not everybody do, but that's the rule that mentally I'll follow.
Neva debates dragging the desk in front of the door until she decides not to and just grumbles into the bed. You know, hunters invaded her home before. That's gonna leave a mark.
Yeah. No, 100%. But also, there's something freeing about not being in a cell anymore, so locking yourself in might have also had some nasty memories. What about the rest of you? In fact, how about, Luca, you describe what Joan's room looks like, because you probably had time to furnish it a little bit.
Oh yeah, I'll as we are all in the corridor, I'll open my room, and you see like there's a huge bed, one of those punching bags, like one hanging from the ceiling and one on the floor, like waiting to be used. A table and two sets of chairs with a bunch of books and papers and ink. It's kind of messy, full of stuff like things she found as she was going on missions and doing stuff. You see on the wall a few the thing that you put on the wall to get books on.
Oh, bookshelf?
Shelf.
Bells?
Shelves, yeah, sorry.
You're good.
You see a couple shelves, and on those there are like books. There's like vials with liquids. There's this is gonna sound weird for Nerva, but a few monster parts. especially like draconic claws and maybe a few um, chaos and such, like very neatly and clean, and that's the only clean part of the room, like really clean are those. Like they have a place of respect in the room, clearly.
Yerba understands trophies. Just as long as they didn't come from somebody that, thinks.
Hides the Elder Dragon
Does
paws.
Minerva say that out loud?
No, I didn't see your room yet.
No, I mean I open my rooms and I leave the doors open so everyone who's
Yeah, he was
passing
saying
by
you could have
does
seen
see
it
it.
if you would have
Yeah.
wanted to, or you could have headed into your room directly.
Would I recognize what kind of monster parts they came from?
Let's see. Are you just talking about parts you have, Luca, in your inventory, or just random monsters?
No, I mean like specifically parts of the monsters that help me be who I am now.
Okay, so some of them you might like. They're not so much. They're trophies, but some of them look weird. It looks like some of them are like fossilized, like old. And they look different. Like at first, you get mad, Nerva, because you see green dragon claws and you associate that with your family, but you don't recognize these. Like these are more ancient.
Rathian?
They don't look like actual monsters. Meta-wise, they look like actual dragon claws, not like Monster Hunter dragon claws. They look different, and, like stronger, maybe more lizard-like than like the monster parts you're used to. Same with the scales. And now that you think back, they do remind you of when Joan grew their draconic shape on them. They remind you of that.
Yerva will think it was just sheddings then. Because that's a thing that happens with reptiles.
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
But
She'll put it out of her mind.
anything else specific with your room, Joan? Or? Oh,
At first glance, I don't think so. I think that's like the biggest thing that draw your eyes.
Okay. And the rest of you guys then come into a room very similar to Nervous, where it's nice, clean, a big bed, and you guys can rest for the night. And have your long rest, as nothing will affect you.
Having trouble going to sleep in such an unnatural room. Nerva uses minor illusion to create sounds of wind through leaves and leaves on scales.
Ambient.
Man, I only caused you to lose 5 HP, Luca.
So far.
Hey, fun fact, guys, you guys can see the encounter statistics in the journals. They tell you about rolls and stuff.
Oh.
Huh.
Oh, that's fun.
So
Hey, I have the most natural 20s.
yeah, ignore the
Most
test.
skills.
Also the most natural ones.
Where?
Journal under encounter statistics.
Encounter statistics.
I popped it up for you. It keeps track of everything.
Oh.
It also keeps track of kills, apparently.
I like those. Just because I have 3 of them already.
I just
Carbon was
wanted.
erased.
Yep. this happened obviously before.
Yeah.
Harbin.
I'm back.
After Harbin. I was telling them, Zenma, that there's a journal entry that I have a module that will keep track of certain stats for you guys. You also can take a long rest. So your guys' rest happens as peacefully or unpeacefully as you want. As nothing hurts you guys, nothing enters your room, nothing interrupts your rest other than yourselves. And it passes by as peacefully as you guys want. Unless something like one of you guys would not sleep well, you guys wake up fully rested.
I would like stay up late, like listening to the other rooms to see if anyone wanted to try something. But as soon as like 2-3 a.m. hits, I'm a goner.
Arturo would probably stay up a bit later, just kind of trying to mentally process what happened, but he'd probably pass out fairly. Like he wouldn't like be kept awake long. He's exhausted in every sense of the word. It's been a very long day.
Yeah, Elliot would also be up a bit late, trying to go over things that has happened and process everything. Like, what's the next step forward? Because at this point, going back to the guild is a no-go for him. The situation for him has gotten worse than he'd like it to be. Slight moral dilemma, but he thinks he can work things out for the better.
Yeah.
Being young, Nirva is not used to sleeping alone.
Does Nieva go to one of the other chambers that they haven't locked their door?
Not yet. They haven't earned enough trust.
I'd laugh at that. One of you guys wakes up and there's just a dragon laying on you. Like, you're mine
Using us as a
now.
pillow.
Yeah,
Not
you're
saying it won't
mine
happen
now.
in the future, but not
It's like waking up with a cat on your chest.
I once
yeah.
woke up with 3 different Rottweilers sleeping on me. And what I love about them, Rottweilers are some of the smartest dogs. They orientated themselves, so the biggest was on my legs and the smallest one was on my chest.
Ooh, yeah, definitely smart.
And they knew I wouldn't get mad at them. That's why they did it. But you guys wake up probably the early morning, late enough that you guys got your rest, but early because new, strange place and you're not used to it.
Yeah.
So, what do you guys wish to do?
Nirva is hungry.
Or should we get some breakfast around here?
As you guys like leave your room, you see Joanna on a chair, like on the threshold of her bed, with a bowl of something, a piece of bread, like eating, looking at your rooms, waiting for you guys to wake up.
Morning.
Morning,
when-
morning, fella.
When you said this place was very clean, do you mean like clinically, like a
Yeah.
hospital, or just?
Very like smooth, clean, like laboratory hallways type thing. Like even when they use wood is very smooth. It's not rough. It's clean as in visually clean.
There must be a gelatinous cube here somewhere.
Oh yeah, no, there's the cleaning cube, as Luca will remember. You guys just see one climbing across the ceiling. It's about 1 foot by 1 foot, and everywhere it goes, it just cleans up behind it.
Oh, it's the equivalent of a Roomba.
Well, no, that's where the meme. I'm pretty sure Luca made it because I posted the meme about the Glassnik cube being a dungeon Roomba.
It's
I don't
like
think that one's mine.
Oh, is it not yours?
it's like one of
I
those
don't think so.
snails you put in an aquarium to eat all
It,
the.
it
stuff
might be
off the ground.
Dom's then. I could have sworn it was
Yeah.
one of you guys.
Listen, they're effective.
Posting in Discord the picture of it. It's a Griffin Saddlebag item that I just know my meme spawned.
Thank you.
And yeah, you guys just see one of those across. It's adorable. It's a nice little pet.
It's a Doomba.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Joan, you see them exit the room. You hear a stomach growl from Nerva.
You're like, hey, you guys wanna ride to the refectory, to the restaurant, to
More like a
place for
cafeteria. Yeah.
Cafeteria?
Yeah, you guys got something
Thank you.
like the mess hall from the guild here?
They didn't exactly feed me
Oh.
much while I was in captivity. And
Oh,
one
you
head.
must be starving. I'm so sorry. I didn't think about that.
I did
You
eat one
Oh
of the
yeah, yeah.
heads, but it won't,
Oh,
won't
yeah,
last
that-
all day.
That's fair. I forgot about that.
You guys probably don't have to take a tram to the cafeteria. It's probably close enough that you guys could walk there. As you enter, it's another wide open room. Again, the general aesthetic of this place seems to be more obsidian floors and like a lighter, either stone or wood for the walls. It's so smooth it's hard to tell sometimes.
Yeah.
But this leads.
Round-
Go ahead.
I was gonna say rounded corners.
Yeah, exactly. There's some sharp edges, but it's not like it's still hard to tell sometimes.
The floors all
Ah.
tile?
What?
Are the floors tile or stone or
They're obsidian typically,
Oh.
with little veins of light in them.
so I got click clack all the way there.
Yeah, just click, 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 clack, click. Imagine if you're a satyr running down the hall, that's clap, 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 clap. But no, as you guys enter the cafeteria, there's long tables. They don't fill up the whole room. In fact, there's some empty spots at the end of them. Like if the other wanted to sit there, they could. And there seems to be very much in lieu of cafeterias, like a line along the wall where people can line up and gather food.
A
I'm
line.
going to like choose somewhere I think Nerva would like fit and sit. And if there's people there, just go out there, look at them, just like shoo them away. Like, no, yeah, go out.
I think
This is nothing.
Nerva does that a bit better than you. Just walking behind you, they just pick up their food and move a little bit.
I really like hanging out with you. You have no idea.
It's good to be appreciated.
It's good to not be the biggest thing around anymore.
Just wait, I'll grow bigger.
It's going to be very hard for me to beat you on that.
My parents,
I'll assure you.
my mother was about twice my size.
What's funny is if both of you guys get to level 10, I'm pretty sure both of you guys will be the same size still.
Debatably.
Oh yeah, I think you could take that feat to get huge mid.
I
But
can
you probably
have an
wouldn't.
optional class feature to get large.
Yeah, large would make sense with your adult form, and then if it's big enough, like then Luca can get that big with my subclass. But you guys could settle down and gather food for yourselves and the other.
I'll take half a Kelby.
They probably have some kind of cattle-like food that they can give some for you. I don't know if would they have Kelby being raised here for that? I mean, that's the standard food, but they might have like standard D&D monsters like actual cows or wolf. I like the idea of wolves. So you probably get like a wolf's leg.
That'd be fine.
Like, it's probably about the same meat.
Yeah, wouldn't have the organs in it, but I'll make do.
Oh, they probably give you a side bowl
Tray.
of different organs, because they don't use those typically. Like they feed them to animals and such. So giving them to you would be perfectly fine.
They can spice them up too a little if they want.
They will do whatever you ask typically, within reason. Service industry stuff. And as you guys settle down to eat,
Crunch, crunch, crunch.
So, do you guys have any more questions that I can help you with? Any burning questions?
Yeah, can you explain Helix coming again in more detail? Like,
so I can explain for Luca, and then Luca can say, "Yeah, I tell him all that."
yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah, that's actually my character speaking. That's okay.
Yeah, exactly. So what you would know, Joan, is that a long time ago, the Helix Commission were Academy researchers and Royal Sciveners who discovered different ancient civilization locations of that seem to have incomplete equal dragon weapons and such in them, and that led to them becoming interested in following some of the more ancient civilization steps, such as making monsters to defend civilization and such. Well, finding out about this, the guild denied these and tried to keep the information secret. Those scientists and researchers split off from the guild and created the original Helix Commission, which has led to different subspecies, variants, and even deviants being in the world.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
How old is the Helix?
It's hard to say because it's hard to say how old the guild is in this world. But they've been around not as long as the guild, but probably for at least let's say if the guild's 1,000 years old, they've probably been around for at least 700. So about 70% of the guild.
Safe to assume any of the founding members are, unless through other means, probably not alive.
Yeah. But this is a world of magic, so some of them could be. There are some races that could live that long.
Some could be artificially lengthened.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's also cloning and reincarnation and whatnot. Heck, Joan, the director of the Helix Commission is an Arakaka, and he's been around a lot longer than Arakakas typically are.
They
Guys
look like they're
wouldn't believe.
50.
Yeah, he's been around at least 150. But what was that, Zidma?
No, I was just laughing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There was another thing you guys know is Joan, you know that the Hunter Guild raided the labs of the original Helix Commission and destroyed a lot of their work, but they managed to escape, and that's when they ended up organizing and forming the Helix Commission, staying in the shadows and continuing both their experimentation and their work to save the world eventually, because they believe eventually some monsters that are more evilly aligned will appear to destroy humans and destroy the other sentient races, even the other monsters that wish to be left alone, like Nieva.
And the destruction, like the guild raid, is that a recent event or is that?
That
old?
probably would have been like very early on in their creation.
Okay.
You guys probably hear some of the events that Joan talks about, and you've heard other stories about them. Like maybe the raid was on a talent society base that was doing torturous things to monsters, and like basically the timeline lines up the stories you were told about, but the guild had talked about them differently.
Twisted the truth.
Or obscured or tried to hide it, because as it sounds, the guild just wanted nothing of this hybridization to be public knowledge.
Yeah, it's sometimes good to hide the truth if it has a bad effect on the world, but this seems a bit ludicrous.
Now, some of what... Go ahead.
Secrets are not the end goal here, but they are necessary, unfortunately. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah, I understand that.
Some stuff that Joan talks about is not all sunshine and rainbows. There are downsides and bad things about the Helix Commission, and Joan talks about them, like the unfortunate nature of the callers. As you guys will recognize from the Alpha Drome that you guys fought, there's a caller that Joan talks about them being used to vaguely track them and keep track of their health signs. But unfortunately, as part of the secrecy, they also disintegrate the body after it's deceased.
I mean, that's not... I mean, if you look at it one way or another, it's not too bad.
Like, it's not the direct thing. The caller doesn't, murder them. But unfortunately, it's to keep the secret of the Helix Commission.
Yeah, it's a safety precaution.
I feel like Elliot's morals are slowly degrading.
It's just people's point of views.
Exactly. Alignment is just perspective.
Yeah.
Look at the Drow. They don't think of themselves as villains.
Fair. It's like here with the guild and Helix Commission, it's perspective.
Hey, we can all agree that the Talent Society are bad people.
Yes.
Right.
No comment.
That's why I made that joke. But no, that's the general information. He also lets loose the name of this location. He calls where you guys are the Guiding Labs.
Yes, it is a pun.
Guiding Labs.
Gage just couldn't keep that laugh in. Hey.
It's not bad.
What's funny is it wasn't me or Mid that came up with this. It was a buddy of mine and Lucas. His name is Reg. Me and him was spitballing ideas for this because I'm in the Griffin Saddlebag and I was just talking about what I needed for this, and he came up with a bunch of random stuff, and that was one of his brainchilds. Is the pun of Guiding Labs, since it's in a big guiding lands like Biodome.
Yep.
But yeah, the rest of your meal. And is there any other questions you would like to ask Joan?
Do you know about the Order of Chromatic Devotion?
Okay, for that, Luca, go ahead and roll me a history check.
History check. That's gonna be great.
Oh
boy, do I.
I think you might have. You probably haven't looked into it yourself, but I think you've heard about their name in passing, probably talking with Amber Ring. She probably, like, maybe something came up about them, a rumor or something. You probably don't know them directly, though it sounds intriguing because of your own nature. Honestly, I'm surprised none of them asked about your nature so far, Luca.
They just accepted it.
Yeah, it's like, he's
Yeah,
part
like-
dragon. There's enough of those.
Yeah, it's kind of
mean-
like how I'm Blow. Like,
If someone
Yeah,
wants
that
to be more
hasn't
like a
been
dragon,
fixed yet.
if someone wants to be more like a dragon, then they're obviously moving up in the world.
More power to them, I guess.
You should want to be a dragon.
Yeah.
At least that's how Nerva sees it. Obviously, dragons are superior.
So I suppose she doesn't know.
Yeah, I know the name, but I don't really have any actual information on it.
That's bad. They will love you.
Why? I don't know if I'm flattered or not.
It sounds like one of those cults that tend to pop up around humanoids.
Oh yeah, those silly humanoids.
At this point, Joan, you pause for a second because you hear a message play in your head as somebody casts a sending to you.
Oh guys, we're gonna meet my favorite person. You guys are real lucky.
So,
why?
'Cause she's awesome. She's just awesome.
Okay, that means that
Come on.
Luca at least recognized the name I gave him, so that's good.
Oh yeah.
But
And I did tell-
that was
Those
you.
are like pushing people out of the
You
table.
well, you also see at the end. God damn it, man! You also see that the message didn't have like an urgency to it. Like you guys can finish your breakfast and stuff, so you don't have to push them off the table. Once everybody has a full stomach, you guys can leave.
You
Your
see
voice.
Joanne like actually excited for the first
I
time.
I love, by the
better.
way, Mid, that you guessed who I was talking about just from the word "her" from Luca.
Well, obviously.
Yeah.
Nerva finishes up her leg of Roth and side of organs, and
Did she crack the
Idly
bone
looked-
for the
oh,
meal?
of course, and eats
Okay.
the bone too.
Okay.
And then she side eyes the rest of the party's food.
They, you can order more if you want. They give you more.
No, she's not. She's full. She's just,
Oh, just watching and judging them for not eating as fast.
yeah. And eating plants.
Is there something you're looking at, Norva?
No, no.
You're just staring.
There's something wrong with staring.
No? It's a little creepy.
She says nothing.
She just goes back to eating.
What I love is you are definitely you're telepathic, so I don't know half the time. I assume you'll tell me if you speak in minds, but that's hilarious that you being in other people's minds, like so much, like you definitely know what people consider creepy or not, so you do it just to mess with them sometimes.
Yeah. And Nerva is a human and will not
Yeah.
have human body language.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%.
We just can't read this one.
Instead, Yerva has cat language,
Cat, dragon, same thing.
basically.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, you guys finish your meals, and any more questions you have, I can answer. But it's a nice, peaceful meal. The meals themselves probably aren't anything special. They're probably very much like portions of meat, plants and stuff. They're seasoned nicely. They taste good, but it's not as special as back at the tavern.
Yeah.
It has the feel of mass cooked instead of specially cooked.
Okay.
Arturo will just kind of eat his food in silence. He doesn't really feel like talking to, well, either of the new party members. But yeah, he in general just kind of just staying clammed up.
This is not a meat Mirva's used to, but she doesn't mind it. It's got a tangy flavor.
I can see that. That's still be
That
for.
is- Not as green tasting as like a Kelby would be.
Yeah.
I mean,
And green's the
at
best
least get the
color.
good. You get
Kelby's
the good
for gainier.
parts.
Hey, at least they took the fur off for you. You don't have to like not digest that and like pass it.
Oh, fur caught your teeth.
Yeah, exactly.
Worse.
That assumes I can't handle that.
But yeah,
No, Nirva just coughs up hairballs like
Exactly.
more of a cat.
like a cat.
Exactly.
Nioma's just a cat. They say they're a dragon, but they're just a big cat,
Big scaly cat. With
like a
wings.
Nagakuga.
I can't wait for us to just be like in the middle of some sort of mission or hunt, and then Nirva just starts going.
Yeah, you guys are stealthing to an area, and you guys just go. Oh, that's gonna be the first nat 1 he ever does on stealthing.
Sudden hairball.
Or like I think it's owls. Owls, I believe,
Yup.
cough up the bones of
Pellets.
Yeah,
prey.
the hair and the bones.
Yeah, owls cough up pellets of things they can't digest.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. So you guys you head back to the tram system, and this time you instead of going back to the main central platform overlooking everything, you guys go to this different Joan calls it the cleric's sanctum. When you guys go in, you guys see it has a divine ambience to it. There's sunstones that are arranged around the top of the room in different patterns, giving not a bright feel to the room, but definitely like a radiant feel. There's
There's
a
warmth too.
probably like
Mirva
it,
spreads her wings a little. Soak up the sun.
there's a central altar that is a marble that serves as a focal point of the room. That has different, like, some people leave offerings there, it looks like. And it has different implements about it. Beams of soft golden light fill through the room, and it looks like there's different, like, stained glass shapes above different altars and prayer spaces around the room. You guys see different symbols of all sorts of deities, from the good deities to the more generally evil known deities, as the Helix Commission doesn't appear to be one to shame anybody for their particular beliefs. And at the center you see probably walking, you see a drow woman who is bundling up some different scrolls and sending them off attached to an owl out the window and off on a journey. She turns to you guys and is like, "Oh, welcome in. I am glad Joan brought you guys. I heard we had new visitors, potential recruits, and I wanted to meet you before Stubborn Director did. He has kind of a one-track mind sometimes. My name is Ihane Hoon. It's a pleasure to meet you."
You see Dwayne almost like fangirling.
This is how Luca makes sure his character doesn't die.
Nerva side eyes Joanne a little bit.
um, Vale just nods her head and says, I am Vale Kalar.
It's nice to meet you.
Hold on. May I ask, what is the purpose, the exact purpose of this organization?
Oh, I
Good questions.
I have not been here the whole creation of it, though I am obviously of elven descent. But from my understanding and what I try to do with the Helix Commission, I aim to prepare the world in case of the worst happening. I'm here, through my actions here, I hope to leave the world a better place. And if we can do that with hybrid monsters, or hybrid creatures, is what she would say, not monsters. She wouldn't consider them monsters.
Never.
Then I will do so to the best of my capabilities. I do not wish to... I joined here to prevent the mishandling of monsters, of creatures of any kind. But as for everything else, I cannot say 100% what my director wants. Hell, half the time I don't think he knows what he wants to do with this organization.
You're saying he seems a bit scatter-minded?
At times, yes. Bird brain even, as she laughs at her own joke.
Oh,
Wow.
That's racist.
Oh, doing
oh, yes, bird brains. Oh, I get it.
Joanne starts to laugh even before she actually gets the joke.
This is an cock crap.
What's a little racism between friends, right?
Exactly. I was just getting an icon up to let you guys see what Aihane looks like for those who don't know what she looks like.
Ah, jump scare.
Oh.
But yeah, so she's like, why sometimes bad things is done. I do my best to mitigate that. In fact, as you guys entered, I sent off scrolls of raised dead to the village you guys left to hopefully allow their unfortunate demise to be undone. I try to bring a balance to what we do. Sometimes that's not possible, and I'm always sorry about that, but I try to, like I said, mitigate where I can. She looks at you, Elliot. She's like, oh, are you suffering from some kind of disease or something?
What?
You
I
don't... You have to remember, Elliot's still
honest.
blue.
Yeah, I have no
Oh.
clue. Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
have
Blue.
no clue. Like, I assume at this point we know it's like wild magic.
Yeah, of some kind.
Yeah, it's like, I think this is a result of some sort of bouts of wild magic that occurred out in the
Oh,
field.
yes.
I just assumed you were blue.
I have heard
Oh.
that there's been some news about wild magic surges happening out and about the world, not just to the beings who are used to that. Here, and she reaches out and touches you, and she'll cast Greater Restoration on you. And as she touches you, from the point she touches you, you just see a spread that turns the blue skin back to normal. And it spreads over your whole being until you're back to normal.
I think it might have to be remove curse.
I thought it was move curse or greater restoration. Shall we do whichever one? She would know.
Yeah, it's.
Mike might not know off the top of his head, but a level like
one curse. Yeah, I get it.
a cleric would know.
Yeah, whatever. Just like, oh, thank goodness. I did not want to blue. I did not want to be blue for the rest of my life.
So she sits down in a
What's
chair.
wrong?
No
What's
offense.
wrong with you, Blue?
Yeah, I was gonna say no offense to you, Val. Like, it's just, it's not my natural skin tone. To you, it is. It just feels weird if I'm blue.
If you had the choice, you should have been green.
Yeah, I will actually agree on that.
Okay, it might have some potential camouflage benefits, but still, it would
green's
look.
better.
You're just gonna bring this up, I must like.
Yeah, what's wrong with being blue? Yeah, no. You
like-
see Nerva that he's not blue anymore. He's back to a very pale, like his token, a very normal skin tone
Yeah.
for
I don't know,
his.
you're talking about normal's green.
You know what? You're correct. He's now a sickly tan.
Yeah. Appreciate that.
Of course. As she sits down now, I'm sure Amber Ring couldn't answer all of your questions, and I'm sure Joan also couldn't. If I can be of any help, I will gladly be. How can I help you? Also, despite what our director says, you aren't forced to be here. If you don't want to be here, I can arrange for you guys to leave, to go where you want. We have a great many resources here. Though our organization is often misunderstood, especially with all the guild propaganda. That's why we had to leave the other continent. They were getting a bit too nosy on us. A bit too heavy-handed. His immenseness never forgave me after all.
Ooh.
I even regrew his arm. So ungrateful sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah.
What will you require of me? See to it that I can get my revenge.
So
I wish for revenge too.
I don't know to which you want revenge specifically. I do not know which hunter or such was the one that fought with your kin, with your parents. And I personally do not support the assault on the guild directly. We do not have the numbers nor the means to eradicate them, nor do I want to. I believe the guild does keep more people safe than it harms at the end of the day.
Yeah, they're doing more good than evil. Like,
Good for who?
Very hard thing to say.
Good for
Right?
the common folk. They might not do the best thing at all times, but we step in to help where they fail. That's why we got you out, Nerva.
And I rightfully appreciate it.
As for whichever hunter killed your kin and scattered your family, we will help you get revenge on them. That is a great misjustice done on an intelligent being such as yourself. In the
It's a small competent, but Nerva will take it.
yeah. In the meantime, we don't require anything of any of you. If you would like to join us, there's different missions and stuff that you'll be sent on to help and further our goals, mainly acquiring samples from certain beings, whether voluntary or not. We leave that up to our field scouts, as Joan can attest. Or maybe...
Yeah, I promise.
Or
The
maybe...
missions are not as bloody as the one you saw.
Yeah, wait, I mean,
As well as, who knows, we might be able to locate and find some of Niarva's kin. Protecting a rare species of Elder Dragon has to be up there on your guys' lists of thing to do.
oh,
Well, of course, you didn't think Niarva was the only one of their kind.
oh, but are there other special species like her?
Why,
Probably.
there's
course.
more than a few that the guild keeps undercover because they're too dangerous for the common folk to know about.
Yeah,
Heck, myself personally, I was nearly killed by a Fatalis one time. I was under a Castle Strayed.
Oh, that was a long time ago, right?
We've been on this continent for 35 so odd years. So it would have been closer to 40 years ago.
Is it Castle or Straight? You said?
Yes, that is
Shrod.
you guys probably heard of Shrod, yeah. You guys probably heard of the stories from an old continent. I'm gonna treat basically that the regular canon Monster Hunter World is another continent.
Okay.
So some of the events are known through stories and stuff from that continent.
The-
That way I can make my own story, but I can use this existing lore.
yeah, it was Straight, the city that fell mysteriously overnight.
Yes, that happened well before my time. And I didn't believe the stories of the creature that did it, but I have seen it with my own eyes. I've survived its hot breath myself. But it's creatures like that can't exactly be reasoned with sometimes. There was a malicious intent behind its eyes.
Some beings should be left alone.
I agree. I had no intention to messing with it if I could have avoided it. In fact, we tried to avoid it. It came to us. But enough of that. Yes, we've come to this land shortly after that. In which case, we found a faction of our own that had migrated here a little bit before that, and they've set up this base, the Guiding Labs. And this is where we've taken up residence since then. Is there anything else I can answer for you?
Can I get greenery in my room? It is
Oh,
dreadfully barren.
Of course. I will have one of our druids come up there at some point today when we are affixing nameplates on those of you who wish to stay. And I will make sure that they have some greenery in there for you.
Start.
We tend to
You
keep
wish
them
to.
cookie cutter rooms, just in case we need them, but we can always customize them to fit the occupants the best.
Okay, that's good.
Is there any? Yeah, go ahead, Zimmer. I was about to ask if there's anybody else having questions, because this is the time for exposition.
Not a question, just As probably the last member of my order, I wish to protect and to find more of Njorve's kind. So I will stay here.
You see Aihane smile. It's like, so our goals align, at least for now. You're welcome to stay here, Vel. And if our goals ever misalign, I will make sure you have a clear exit. I imagine Flight's character, which is legendary, the director, his character is a lot like Cave Johnson from Portal 2. He has grand ideas, but he's not the person that implements them.
He's the thinker.
Yeah,
He's the idea guy.
yeah, and eventually he's gonna die from cancer from moon gel. It's fine.
Combustible lemons.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't want your damn lemons. What am I supposed to do with these?
Yeah.
Burn your house down with lemons.
But I will require several changes to my room.
Of course, if you write down a list, I will do my best to implement them.
Oh, there will be a list.
It sounds threatening.
20-foot list.
I suppose the mission has dealt with elders before. What happens in those occasions?
The samples we get for all creatures, we typically try not to kill any elder dragons, though unfortunately I have had to fight them in the past myself, back in my adventuring days. I have tried to dissuade more fights than cause, but as the word goes on, fights happen, conflict happens. I have heard rumors of some of us working more closely with elder dragons. They are sentient beings after all. The ones who can be reasoned and bargained with, we do so, if we can.
And the ones that can't?
We avoid it possible and fight if we must.
That's fair.
We will at least give them the courtesy of talking with them before mindlessly murdering.
That is more than the guild gives.
Unfortunately, I've seen that more than my fair share. Horrible. There was this one, back when I worked for the guild, before I was Helix, there was this group that just, if it was in their way, they murdered it. They were awful people. I'm pretty sure they just left the Dio Morales in the middle of the road and we came across it. Not only murder, but littering. Ugh.
Foul.
And for Luca, that is Mid's Monster Hunter team that I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
It's entirely deserved.
Like, their team was quite the monstrous murderers of monsters.
At least we have...
Mid legitimately has said if it got in their way, it either moved or died.
Yeah. We have ethics here. We got the Diamo Hermitar and the young Lagiacrus.
Well, I'm sure the guild killed them shortly after. I don't believe they were thinking or people. The crab especially, they're annoying.
Yeah.
You probably have general knowledge, Nieva. You probably were young, so I'm not going to give you advantage. But on a lot of these monsters, if you can describe to me how Nieva might know them, I might give you advantage on a case by case.
Nerva would likely know creatures that live in like a jungle or forest
Okay.
biome.
That's what I needed to know. So for specifically monsters whose habitat would be jungle or forest, I'll give you advantage on remembering them.
Something that's in a
Yes.
volcano or in an Arctic area will be completely out of her knowledge.
I guess Arturo's probably going to finally speak up and just ask, so what of the people of Verdant Haven, they're just going to be resurrected and it's going to be fine after that?
Well, I don't know if it's gonna be.
Still needlessly died in the end.
I understand that, and that's why I used part of the magic that Aldath gives me to resurrect them. When bad things happen, like I said, I try to correct it. I sent the scrolls there to hopefully help curb some of the negative that has happened, but it yeah, no, exactly. It's like Dragon Ball Z. If you die 5 times in a row, you get a free ice
You get
cream
a
sundae.
sundae.
Yeah.
Well,
So
preaching of ethics in any manner after that, well, something like that is no better than what the guild does. I can agree
So the
that
traitor
guild-
is alive.
I can agree that the guild is not the best organization out there. I personally believe they should be split up into multiple organizations. No single group should hold that much power, but it's what you're doing here isn't much better. Different directions, but similar methods and goals. I personally do not agree with either of the sides of this argument. Or spat, or whatever you would call it.
I understand your concerns, and why I do not know what history you have with the guild personally. There's going to be good and bad no matter where you go. The only thing we can control is what good and bad we do specifically. There was bad that happened, and I tried to balance the scares with good. There was once somebody that butted heads with the guild years ago that I had to step in and help stop. He believed the guild was also too strong, and that a lot of what the guild kept quiet or hidden should be given to the people so that everybody can make decisions together. He went about it the wrong way, though, and he very nearly caused a lot of hunters on the old continent to die. He had a mutated Megala frenzy that only targeted hunters.
Oh.
Uh,
What, the Chaos Megala?
it was a specific variant of the frenzy that he developed that only infected hunters. And while working for the guild, I helped save a town that was mostly killed by him. There's good and bad no matter where you go. The question is, and she has not got to your name because the only one that introduced themselves was Vel. And she knows Nerva because Nerva was the reason for going there. No matter where you are, you have to pick what you do to balance the scales. If you work with us, you can help us. If you don't, then I will make sure that we have enough resources. We can put you safely somewhere on the continent where you can do what you wish within reason. We'll do our best to shield you from the guild for whatever supposed crimes you've committed. We'll make sure that the crimes of breaking out will not be attached to you either. Especially since there will be no murder victims anymore. Now, enough of that. Has Joan been showing you around Commission?
Yes.
What do you think of the guiding labs? It's a marvel to be sure, at least from when we found it.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like the research you guys are doing and all that. You're pushing the boundaries, paving new paths for things that. I mean, I guess I can just say you're following the ancient civ.
That is the goal of the director. He wishes to do what the ancient civilization can do, what they were punished for doing. We are trying to do what they did, but with more ethics involved, or at least I'm pushing the ethics involved.
Heavy ethics there.
What they did in the past was horrid to those poor creatures, and with this technology, we hope to make sure that we don't repeat their failings.
Yeah, learn from the past.
That's
Repeat it.
That's actually how the director persuaded me to join them. He knew my compassion for creatures that had been hybridized, and when she says that, you guys notice she will like touch her waist, as if remembering an old injury of sorts. But I don't wish to keep you. I'm sure you guys would like to explore more. If you have any questions, I will be either here or I keep it was one of my requirements to move here that I be allowed to erect a shrine to Aldath, my deity patron. I will be either here or there. Joan knows the way there, of course.
Look at you guys. Anything specific you guys want to see?
No, but just Elliot hesitates for a little bit. Will just push himself to say it. I think I might be staying for a while, even.
Well,
I'm considering
she-
joining.
Ayane turns as you say that. It's like, well, even if you don't wish to go on journeys, we do have need of researchers and such.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm the lead caregiver of the monsters, of the creatures. Every time I say monsters, assume I say creatures.
Yeah. Yeah.
She will not call them monsters, and I call monsters because of the video game. She would
Yeah.
not call them that.
Yeah. The
But
creatures, like.
so we can always use more.
Yeah. That's something I'm pretty good at, and.
Hell, we even poachers that are taken by us. We even put them to work caring for the monsters. After all, the director is a fan of his Devil Joe creatures.
We tend to hide when those come by.
As you should. They're
Like,
horrible creatures. I once faced one that had multiple heads. It was horrifying.
Joe with multiple heads?
Yeah, when we fought it, it would lose heads and then grow multiple heads back. It was honestly terrifying.
Yeah, that sounds terrifying.
Luca doesn't know what a Devil Joe is yet. He is playing Rise with me. He doesn't know.
Yeah, and
Yeah, not yet.
Well, it's not in Rise, but this is what it is in Discord, Luca.
yeah,
Gotta just get you just gotta play World and just go in completely blind. Do not
yeah.
just
Yeah.
just let
Yeah.
Lucas' first experience of Devil Joe just be a
Or-
random high rank hunt.
Yeah, or if they see basil geese.
I love the song. The music, yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I want to go out in public and just randomly play that and see how many people look around.
Yeah, and I think I'm just gonna take it down and be brutally honest here. Going back to the guild, or if I do decide go back to my hometown, either point would be very risky and would put me in a lot of trouble.
Like I
So-
said, we have resources. We can. You guys aided our field scout in retrieving Nierva. If what you guys wish is to go back home, we will do our best to help you. We have people within the guild that could aid us.
And should I wish to leave, who would I contact?
Most likely me. I'm probably the one that could help you get it done as easy as possible. I love that one, Mid.
Yeah, but if I do go back, it would be missing an opportunity like this, which I don't think I'm gonna get again. So,
We are fairly unique in research situations.
yeah. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and
And you'll be safe from me.
I slowly look over.
Near the stairs.
Yeah. Turns back.
I imagine very much that Nierva might also have some of those clear eyelids, so just actively stares.
Oh. Yeah.
Like has real eyelids to close out light, but the clear eyelids to keep out dust.
Yeah.
Dictating membrane.
Yeah, exactly.
This is exactly what I dreamed of, becoming a hunter and all of that stuff. But it's the next best thing. And at least it is similarly aligned with the, goals of the guild.
I understand. I myself, I never planned to be a hunter when I first started, but the guild was the only place that accepted me. I wasn't as you see me now. And
Yeah.
after that, I never knew about the commission until years into my service with the guild.
Yeah, I think I'd like to take the opportunity to put effort into helping.
You'll make for a good minion.
Yerva, I am not going to be your minion.
I mean, you already are.
No, I am not.
At the point,
Another thing we are currently researching is some of the creatures that are related to Joan here.
I'll wave my hand.
We aren't sure exactly what makes up Joan. We just know it happened to her to keep her alive, and we are researching who and what it was. They are very powerful now, though, so it seemed to be a trade of sorts. But enough about
It's fun.
this questions and stuff. I'm sure there's other places to see. In fact, there's you could take the tram down and see under the water into the ocean part of the biodome. That's always a breathtaking locale. Rest assured, whenever you guys are ready to leave or to ask more questions, you can find me here, or if you would like to help us out on missions, you can talk to Amber Ring up at the control center. As she
So,
turns to go back to messing with the devices connected to the main monolith at the center of the room. I think as she turns, it's probably Vel who notices because of their insane passive perception. Um, she's not wearing armor, which it definitely looks like she's used to armor, but maybe where part of her like shirt like raises up, you see what looks to be marks of some kind on her lower back. Like it's almost like her upper body is a bit darker of a skin tone than her lower body.
Oh.
As she continues her work and lets you guys go about your business.
Nerva recognizes the dismissal, about faces, and leaves.
Before coming to this place, you said there was some kind of a place of worship.
Around the room, there are both stained glass windows of symbols and shrines to each of the major deities.
Is there one for either Bahamut or Tiamat?
There's three of them. There's one for Bahamut, one for Tiamat, and then there's the one for Sidar, the ruby dragon. That one's not like an active worship one. That one's like a pay respects to kind of shrine, because
Pamphlets.
there's pamphlets for each one. There seems to be a dedication of paladins across this place that make sure everybody has pamphlets for each god. They don't go and shove them in people's faces, but they are stacks of pamphlets with each deity.
Belle will take her time to do the proper rituals to appease each one. Probably gonna take a couple hours.
Okay. So you guys see Val start to do that, and you guys probably might not know about clerical rituals, but Joan might know a bit from working here. And but they seem in depth on that. Like they're not gonna get up for a little while, so you guys are still free to do what you need to. So what would you guys like to do?
Nerva heads in the direction of the tram.
Yeah, you said something about an oceanic view, and yeah, let's go.
Joan probably
Yeah,
knows
sure.
the direction for that.
Yeah,
The standard public
I'm probably
stuff.
doing, like a chauffeur right
Yeah, the public standard stuff, Luca, in that thing I shared with you, you'd probably know what all that is. It's the more restricted stuff that you probably wouldn't.
now. Okay.
So you'd probably know, like, of the different cows down in the biodome, the different areas where you could take people to look into them. You guys
So
see
we're going to the aquatic biome.
Yeah. So around outside of the biodome, you guys see different viewing platforms that look like people can look down in the biodome. And the tram you guys hop on, first off, Arturo, are you following them too, or are you doing something?
I think Arturo would probably, before everyone gets on the tram, Arturo would probably, I guess, pull Elliot aside to just talk
Yeah.
to Elliot.
I didn't want it to go
Yeah.
too far forward. I wanted to make sure you guys got your limelight.
Yeah.
Yep, I thought this would come.
Yeah, Arturo's probably just gonna pull Elliot aside and just kind of, just ask for a moment to talk.
Yeah.
What do you make of all of this?
It's a lot. It's a lot. I can't say much on it. Like, it seems like they're very nice people and they're trying to do good. They're not exactly the guild, but hey, they're sharing the same goals of protecting the world and doing the research, which that's kind of the main reason I joined the guild. We'll say.
I'm not exactly sure what to make of them myself. I can see that they're dedicated to the research, and that, well, they're at least making an effort to, well, maintain some level of ethics, but,
Yeah.
well, what I saw last night begs to disagree, so not... if they can spout nonsense about trying to maintain ethics, but in reality they don't have much control over it, does that really make them much better than the guild?
Elliot ponders for a moment before speaking. You would be right, like, but
Not,
there is going to be at least some bad, some good, wherever you go.
I'm not saying the guild is, well, better than them in any
Yeah.
aspect, or that they are better than the guild. Perhaps they could be the lesser of two evils in a sense, but, well, I can't say I agree with either side.
Yeah. Yeah, they might. Yeah. the
Those
lesser of the two
damn-
evils.
Those damn balls of yours.
Yeah. They might be the lesser of the two evils that we might actually get along with.
Well, I could care less for the guild, honestly. My only crime was to survive. If they are to punish me for surviving, then I can't say I agree with their methods, but I can't say the death of, well, many innocents releasing dangerous creatures on a settlement like that is any better, or...
Yeah. But they were trying to do, saving Nerva.
I do sympathize with them on that regard. I don't believe that the Nerva, or whatever they seek to call themselves, deserved that imprisonment, or at least I would like to hope that they didn't, but I cannot say their methods were the best course of action.
Yeah.
They seemed to take a much heavier-handed method to pull that off than what they seem capable of.
Yeah. But that was just one instance. Who knows? We might see their course of actions be more ethical, less violence, if we stick around.
I'm not sure. I would have to think on it, but I would much rather choose to associate with neither, but I'm not quite sure on what my options are.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to go back to surviving, then, I mean, they did say they offered us, cleansing us of the crimes that we supposedly did, and would offer us some protection if we were to leave. It's nice and all, but we would just be returning back to our old lives, which I personally do not want. I came here with a purpose to join a guild, become a hunter, or even a handler. Have purpose, not just dong away doing nothing. And that opportunity with the guild kind of just sort of flew out. So personally for me, I'm looking for next best thing, and here it is.
Perhaps this organization might be better suited for you. You
Yeah.
definitely seem a lot more academically inclined, but
Yeah.
I would hope, well, I haven't seen much of you, but I would hope that you stay true to whatever morals you do hold.
Yeah. It seems like I'm always getting myself in trouble, and I really don't want that to happen again, so spending my life somewhere else seems like a better option.
I never got the chance to ask, what did the guild arrest you for? What did they, well, either suspect or...
Oh no, they did caught me red-handed. Well, I might have bribed my way into, might have bribed the wrong people into, joining the guild / becoming a handler, hunter, that stuff.
The most white collar of crimes.
Yeah, white collar crime. Like, hey, it's hard, so, like, I thought I could, do lesser evil to do better good. But I guess that's not how the guild saw it, and, well, you see how that turned out.
Is that all?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can't say I'm not surprised at their reaction to that, but I don't quite see why they would group you with, other criminals of our sort. That seems like a more of a slap on the wrist type crime than, well, what they caught me doing. So I wouldn't quite say what I was doing was inherently wrong either.
Yeah.
Well, the guild, though they may have they may cast a wide net, but there's many holes in that net.
Mm-hmm.
There's many that, well, don't fall under their protection, or they don't deem it worthwhile enough to provide that protection.
Yeah.
I didn't exactly have the opportunity to join the guild, so I rather sought to take survival into my own hands and help provide for my village. But, well, I did get tangled up with a much more established group. Well, they called themselves a Talon Society, and, well, I didn't know much of them at the time, and I didn't quite care to learn. They offered a hand where the guild wouldn't. But, well, the more I learn of them, the more I realize that they are much more... I don't think I need to explain exactly.
Yeah,
how
no.
what they're going for, but
Yeah, poachers, evil, yada yada yada. Yeah. You just fell into the wrong crowd. Without knowing.
But, well, even if they were the wrong crowd, they did provide support in a way that,
Yeah.
well, me or any of the other people I knew received before. So, well, I may not exactly agree with their morals, I am at least grateful for the help, but I'm not quite sure I want to associate with any sort of group or coalition or society, commission, whatever anything would call themselves.
You're just a lone wolf type of guy.
I would prefer to not be that way, but, well, my options aren't exactly preferable.
We ain't in the best kind of situation.
Regardless, I think I will have to ponder on what my options are before I make a choice, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't say to be alarmed if my choice is to leave.
Yeah. I mean, they did kind of offer, or would assist Nerva in their revenge against the, what happened to her family, and the Helix Commission would help with vengeance against the, hunter or hunters that killed their family. I mean,
Hey.
maybe you could stay as far or as long as or maybe we could even ask them to help get revenge on a certain backstabbing dwarf.
That will. Man, it's so good to know that they think of you so much.
Nerva doesn't know who Harbin is.
Yeah, listen. Harbin
Nerva's also not there.
Yeah, Harbin is a backstabbing liar, and he needs to pay.
I mean, regardless of, what he did with us, I would rather not seek revenge. That is, not the way I prefer, at least. But, not sure, but...
You can hear from the background Bell screaming, "Yeah, fuck carving!"
That
Listen.
fucking 20 passive perception.
Yeah, we agree.
yeah. I mean, regardless, it was at least nice to meet you and, the others. I'm not sure what happened to Asdoc, if he's even alive or
We cut to a shot of Asdoc surfing on Mechanus. It's some kind of it's ocean. He's on a surfboard.
Surfing USA.
Exactly. Him and his Mojang friend. As we cut back to you guys talking.
Under mandated break.
Yeah, exactly. It has to be exactly 15 minutes too, not 1 second above or below.
As Doc has to get that Mechanist tan,
Yeah,
These
exactly.
guys-
And he is busy at work at those Brazilian showers.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's what he's actually
Pending.
working. Yeah, exactly.
he's mass producing.
He's gonna come back to the Verdant Haven like, where's all my friend go?
Just gonna come back after having created a successful shower company or something, and just
Immediately arrested.
Oh,
I would, as much as I would, like to stay with a group of sorts. I'm just not exactly sure what would benefit me or what would even be, what would even align with what I want.
yeah. I'd say I'd go into details, but I wouldn't want to bother you. That it's your own decision to choose. If you leave, you leave. If you stay, you stay.
Yes. Regardless, I believe you have a tram to catch.
Oh, yeah, I do.
We cut to Nieva and Joan talking on the tram. What would you two talk about? Because I
I have a
assume
question. Is the tram touchscreen?
there's probably physical buttons. It's probably old school.
Ah.
Why were you doing?
I'm getting Joanne to show me how to run the tram.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll teach you everything I know. Not that that's too much, to be honest, with minus one intelligence, but everything I know is yours.
You would know how to make it go where you need to. Basically how to go forward, it only goes at a set speed. That way they don't collide with each other. And there's a couple.
Buttons, food.
Yeah, there's some preset locations on there.
This button's the training room.
Training room
Oh yeah.
to practice fighting.
Oh yeah. You don't really do that, do you?
It wasn't safe to do so. But if this place can provide healing on occasion of mishaps and accidents, it's worth going to.
Oh yeah, that's the oopsie room. It's kinda right here.
Your mind goes back, Nerva, to off comment that Aihane made about how she regenerated the Minceness's arm. So you know there was divine healing magic of some kind here.
Well, that's good. We'll have to see how well you shake out.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. And Joanne just have like the biggest grin on her face.
And I think it's at this point that conversation ends, as you are showing. And at least Elliot, Arturo, do you join Elliot on the tram, or?
I guess Arturo will tag along just to kind of see more of the facility, but he's probably gonna just kind of stick to his own a bit more. At
Hey,
least
looking about the facility is not a promise of commitment.
Yeah, he just at least like wants to see a bit more before he makes a decision or not. So
Okay. And as you guys get on the tram, Joan probably lets Nerva hit the button to go to the underwater observation.
Skibbity bop.
You tap the button. You guys start moving downwards. The tram goes down as you see the biodome's water start to get above your head as you guys go down, and into the station where you guys get off. You guys are in a bubble that is, you hope, magically enhanced, and you see water all around you. It looks to be camouflage of some kind, so the monsters don't necessarily see you guys in here.
One-way mirror. Nice.
Arturo, your passive perception is pretty high, right?
my passive perception is
The second highest in the group.
Yeah, I have Oh, I don't have perception expertise. I just have normal. So yeah, my passive perception is 15.
All right. So you probably notice, as Nerva's looking out at the water, there's little slits in her neck that open and close, almost reflexively.
Oh, gills.
So you guys see beautiful coral along the bottom. You probably see some typical monsters you see deep down. There's probably a gobule that there's probably one of those I don't know the names off the top of my head, but the herbivores that live in the water. There's probably a pack of them at the bottom of the ocean, and then a gobule jumps up and nails one.
Epioff.
Thank you. As the gobule jumps up, grabs one, and then settles back down with its meal. In a different area, you guys probably see a couple of Lagiacrus swimming together, as well as no real. That's one thing you guys noticed. There's no elder dragons in the biodome, at least none that you could see. So you don't see any Sedeus or anything like that, or even, God forbid, the squid. Nikarchos, yeah. You don't see nothing like that.
We just see an Alatreon chilling at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
No.
Dio Morales in the water.
Jeez.
Just Alatreon giving us the most vicious side eye.
Just turns and looks at you with its true vision. True sight. But no, you guys see a lot of different aquatic animals swimming about, seemingly unknowing of both their captivity. It's very much it is a slice of actual wildness. And the only ones you see collars on are the hybrid creatures. You probably see a creature of some kind of hybridness with a Lagiacus, and it has a collar on, but it's not like the collar is tight to where it hurts it. Like, it doesn't even seem to pay any mind. You just see the creatures being creatures. Oh yeah, thank you for the artwork for describing to Luca what a gobule is.
Oh, yeah.
I imagine
Also-
Luca is trying to write out what I say to Google it.
Also, let me get a picture.
I think I got like 90% of those names wrong, but
Let me get a
none
picture
none of it's in Wise. Don't worry, Luca.
This is an epioth. They're basically sea cows.
Gobble eat them whole.
And I know Luca has seen me post pictures about Lagiacus before.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah. Lagiacrus is terrifying.
But yeah, that's why I have a pack of them down here. But yeah, and that's where I think we're gonna end. Thank you guys for joining me. I hope you guys had a fun look into the Helix Commission.
It was good.
Yeah, it's very
This is
nice.
fun.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. We'll try to find another time. I will try to, maybe next week or the week after, we'll talk about it. This next month and a half to 2 months, it's going to be a little hard. I have a lot of work to do because Christmas is the busiest time for my work. So I will do my best to make sure we have ample games.
Okay.
But thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. As for stream, as for stream, thank you for joining me as well. I will be live on at least this Sunday with more D&D. If not beforehand, I'll probably do a random Pokemon Nuzlocke of some kind. Maybe continue my Infinite Fusions. We'll see.